Good afternoon, and we're coming on the air because U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland is about to speak for the first time since the FBI raid of former President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. The Justice Department under intense pressure to say something to reveal details of the search warrant executed on Monday. Of course, because of the highly unprecedented nature of all of this, a search at the home of a former president. Republicans have been demanding an explanation. DOJ and the FBI have refused to comment so far, which of course is standard policy in an ongoing investigation. But the stakes here much higher, again, as I mentioned, because this involves a former president. Law enforcement sources saying the raid was related to documents, some classified, allegedly taken by the former president when he left office. Sources now telling ABC News the former president received a subpoena in the spring, possibly for these documents he failed to turn over to the National Archives. We've now learned that federal authorities were also at Mar-a-Lago in June in connection with this subpoena, and of course back again this week for the actual search. It's believed the former president could reveal more about the search himself in these recent days. His lawyers were given a copy of the warrant, which would have given some indication, obviously, of what kinds of things they were looking for. The former president unlikely to release that information. ABC News has learned that the FBI agents gave the Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago 45 minutes notice before showing up on Monday. Secret Service agents on site did not notify Mar-a-Lago staff until the FBI was actually arriving. The former president, as we reported here, and members of the Trump family were not on site at the time. We should note here, as we await the Attorney General, that in a separate case also involving the former president, it was just about 24 hours ago, the former president was deposed by New York's Attorney General in a civil investigation completely separate. Let's listen to the AG.
Good afternoon. Since I became Attorney General, I have made clear that the Department of Justice will speak through its court filings and its work. Just now, the Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal a search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. That search was of premises located in Florida belonging to the former president. The department did not make any public statements on the day of the search. The former president publicly confirmed the search that evening, as is his right. Copies of both the warrant and the FBI property receipt were provided on the day of the search to the former president's counsel, who was on site during the search. The search warrant was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause. The property receipt is a document that federal law requires law enforcement agents to leave with the property owner. The department filed the motion to make public the warrant and receipt in light of the former president's public confirmation of the search, the surrounding circumstances, and the substantial public interest in this matter. Faithful adherence to the rule of law is the bedrock principle of the Justice Department and of our democracy. Upholding the rule of law means applying the law evenly, without fear or favor. Under my watch, that is precisely what the Justice Department is doing. All Americans are entitled to the even-handed application of the law, to due process of the law, and to the presumption of innocence. Much of our work is by necessity conducted out of the public eye. We do that to protect the constitutional rights of all Americans and to protect the integrity of our investigations. Federal law, long-standing department rules, and our ethical obligations prevent me from providing further details as to the basis of the search at this time. There are, however, certain points I want you to know. First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly. Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search and to narrowly scope any search that is undertaken. Third, let me address recent unfounded attacks on the professionalism of the FBI and Justice Department agents and prosecutors. I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked. The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants. every day they protect the American people from violent crime, terrorism, and other threats to their safety while safeguarding our civil rights. They do so at great personal sacrifice and risk to themselves. I am honored to work alongside them. This is all I can say right now. More information will be made available in the appropriate way and at the appropriate time. Thank you.
All right, that's the Attorney General Merrick Garland at the Department of Justice.
Thank you all for your questions. But as I said, this is all I can say at this time.
We expected that that would be his answer to any questions following his news conference here moments ago, where he did not take questions, but again made significant news here as you were watching our live coverage. The Attorney General Merrick Garland saying, "Let me make clear the Department of Justice will speak through court filings and its work," which is what he said when he took this post. He said just now the Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal that search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. So again, the Attorney General working to unseal the warrant that allowed FBI agents to search the former president's home in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. That would, of course, reveal a lot more information to the American public and to those who've been calling for more details into this highly unprecedented move by the Attorney General. He said in sticking to what he declared from the very beginning as AG, that they would not talk except through their work, their court filings. He pointed out before offering this information today that it was the former president himself, Donald Trump, who talked about this search, not the Department of Justice, the day of the search. He said it was the former president's right to do so. He went out of his way, Merrick Garland did, to say we made no public comments on the day of the search. He also reminded the audience something that we have been reporting here at ABC News, that a warrant was given to the former president's legal team, that probable cause was shown in court before that magistrate, before this search played out. That they were given a property receipt. This is something else that we have reported on here that would list the items taken from the property. So again, the former president has this information, could share it with the public, knowing that there are so many questions out there, particularly from Republicans and from supporters of the former presidents, though we knew that that was unlikely to happen from the former president. I want to bring in our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl.